What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Beyond the Bench podcast. Today, I'm once again here with Nick.
What's up, guys? How are we?
Starting off with football again. There's a lot to talk about this week.
I think I fixed my mic this time, so I think
it's
we're
not
good.
going to sound as bad.
Horrible.
Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about this week, so why don't we just hop right in? Let's just start off by talking about the games that just happened this week. We'll start with the Ravens because I feel like that was the most uneventful game. The Ravens.
Well, I mean, it wasn't uneventful, but it was a blowout.
It was the one game that wasn't really close.
A fight, yeah.
Yeah.
It was close up until the second half.
Yeah. But the Ravens clearly showed that they are and should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl at this point. They handedly took care of the Texans.
Oh, 100%.
But not to take away from anything that the Texans did this season.
No, the Texans had an amazing season, and people were counting them out at the beginning of the season. They were saying that they were not going to get more than 5 wins, and they got to a divisional round game, put up a fight up until the second half. You know, football is a 2-half game, and they couldn't get the job done. But what the Texans have done this season is really, really, really remarkable with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, you know?
And honestly, they finished with 4 or less wins in each of the last 3 seasons. And I honestly don't think anyone really
nobody expected that. No, but they were you can say what you want about the Packers being in the division round, but the Texans really were the odd man out.
Absolutely. In the beginning of the season, did everybody think they were going to be better? Absolutely. But I saw predictions saying anywhere from, I think, 6 to 8 wins.
I saw less. I saw people not even giving them past 4.
That's insane with what they did this year. Honestly, not even arguably, pretty much for sure, they're going to have the offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And coach of the year, in my opinion. I think it 100% should go to 100% should go to DeMeco Ryans. He has been a knight in shining armor with this team, and he hasn't even stepped onto the field.
No, absolutely. And he's, I believe, the second youngest head coach in the league. So he'll be around
behind,
for a while. Behind only Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, and now the Patriots, something Mayo.
Oh, Gerard Mayo. Is he that young? Mayo. I didn't even know.
Yeah, he's a month younger than McVay.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. So we got a new youngest head coach in town.
I didn't even know that. So, honestly, I think the Packers game was probably the craziest game that we saw this weekend.
Yeah, they won in every single important category, every single one. 3rd downs, 4th downs. I just flipped everybody off. I'm sorry. Completion percentage. You know, every single category, the Packers were firing on all cylinders
until the 4th quarter. The 49ers flipped the script in the 4th quarter, and yes, the weather played a factor. But what do you know how far the field goal was that he missed? Was it 48?
I think it was around there in high 40s. I think it was mid to high 40s.
Obviously, there's a lot of factors you could put into this. I honestly don't put. Obviously, Anders Carlson's the one that missed the field goal. But
I don't put all the blame on him.
No, obviously, I don't blame really anybody. That was a 48-yard field goal. It's the decision you have to make. That was the right decision by Matt LaFleur.
You're not going to go for it when you're trying to tie the game.
He's a rookie kicker. I believe he was the least accurate kicker in the league this year. He was 87%, not even. And the weather played a huge. It was raining.
Oh yeah,
the whole game.
That messes with the kick holder. You know, if the kick holder is even a millimeter off, that ball is going wide.
I'll put a picture up. There's a picture of the placement of the ball. It was almost entirely the holder's fault. And I asked Noah. Noah's my kicker friend. You saw him last week.
Yep. Go.
He said that ball was terribly placed. And Yeah, you
And
could blame the
as
rain.
Noah was saying when we were with him the other day, a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago, he was saying that the kicker is actually the least important job on a football field. The
yep.
placeholder is by far more important because the
And the
kicker
long
always did,
snapper and the
yeah, and the
snapper.
long snapper. Those two positions do not get nearly enough credit as important they are on a football field because the kicker's job is just to swing his foot and whatever, it'll go in. But if that ball is not snapped correctly, if it's not held correctly, that kicker is never making a field goal.
The ball it wasn't flat on the ground, but like when you're kicking the ball, it's got to be at like an angle like that. I know if you're listening, you can't see, but the ball was almost like that.
Yeah,
Like
it
it
was
was
a
too low
for
to the
for
ground.
for for listeners. The ball was almost at a 45-degree angle. It should be around
Yeah, you
like an
like a
80, 70.
80. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
something like that.
And yeah, it's not. I don't blame Anders Carlson. He's a rookie. You can't blame the rookie.
And his older brother
Had a down year, honestly.
had a down year, but he's also one of the best
One of the
kickers.
best, the league's premier kickers.
Well, league premier kicker, which you don't hear a lot.
No. But if we're talking about the Packers 49ers missed walk-off field goal,
Let's talk
yeah, I think
about
that
the
was a game time
Chiefs
field.
Bills.
Another missed. Let's
I'm
get into that
sorry.
in the
I need to
divisional
say
round.
something.
Go ahead.
I don't know if anybody, if everyone that's watching was actually watching the game, but there was a play in which Patrick Mahomes had the ball, and they got called. The Bills got called pass interference on them when in no way, shape, or form that should have been pass interference. The
It
ball,
was inside the 5.
the rule states in the NFL if uh, if a receiver is hit within the 5 yard line of the line of scrimmage, if he is hit within the 5 yard line of the line of scrimmage before the ball has come out of the quarterback's hands, that is a legal hit. That is not pass interference. They played the replay after the call was made. The ball clearly did not leave Patrick Mahomes' hand.
It wasn't
And
even
Tony Romo,
close.
who kisses this guy's ass every
Week
single
after
second,
week.
week after week, second after second, even said that should not have been pass
Oh,
interference.
absolutely. It was
And
an
that
awful call.
awful call pretty late in the game. That could have given the Bills,
The
a
time
chance
they
to
needed to get
stop
the
them.
touchdown
It was a
instead of the
third
field
down.
goal when
Was
they
it a
didn't
third down?
rely. I believe it was.
I think it was a third down. Yeah, so that could
And
have
they
given them
didn't
a
have to
stop.
rely on Tyler Bass, who great kicker. He's not making 100% of the kicks.
No.
And it was
And also,
cold.
I don't think that was his fault. Did you see the wind? The wind took that ball.
Oh, the wind was terrible.
The wind took that ball.
And it was just unlucky again for the Bills. It seems to happen to them every single year.
And I feel so bad for them because you can't do anything in that situation. The fans shoveled their stadium for 2 weeks to
Next year, that's not happening. I'm telling you, Bills fans won't show up if they need it again. I'm telling you.
And that's
They
going to
will
suck
not
for
show
them.
up.
And that's going to suck for them because the Bills cannot perform when they're playing against the Chiefs. And I don't know. I'm not into conspiracies. I'm not into this whole NFL script. I'm not into this color theory thing. But there is no way that the Bills should have lost at home to Patrick Mahomes in his worst career, worst season of his
Worst
career,
Absolutely.
and the worst team of his career as of right now. There is no way that they should have lost.
No reason that the Bills should have lost that game. And they did. And
they did.
I thought this year was going to be the year they got over the hump, clearly.
I thought it was too. I mean, and honestly, the Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls. I don't know.
What went wrong?
What went wrong in that franchise to not let them get back again? They are one of the most unlucky. Buffalo is one of the most unlucky sports towns, other than the Celtics, or not the Celtics. That's Boston.
Yeah.
I meant the Sabres.
So, remember last week when I brought up my whole Kirk Cousins fun fact about how the 49ers, no team that had lost to Kirk Cousins in the regular season has ever won the Super Bowl, and that the 49ers lost to Kirk Cousins this year, which means they're not winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I have a new fun fact for you.
What is this fun fact now?
Every every season of Josh Allen's career when he made the playoffs,
Okay.
the team that beat him in that playoffs
Okay.
went on to lose the next game they played. 2019, the Texans beat
know
the
that.
Bills.
Okay.
Texans beat the Bills. Texans then lost to the Chiefs.
Okay.
2020, the Chiefs beat the Bills. The Buccaneers beat the Chiefs. 2021, the Chiefs again beat the Bills, lost to the Bengals.
In the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl. No, in the conference championship, the Bengals beat the Rams.
Oh, right,
lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Right, sorry, my bad.
And the year after that, last year, the Bengals beat the Bills and lost to the Chiefs.
Right, because that was the DeMar Hamlin incident.
So if my two facts add up, it means we're going to see a Ravens-Lions Super Bowl.
Wow.
Which I think is what America wants.
Are you willing to put money on that?
I will put as much money as I can on that. That's not true. I actually think I put money on Niners Ravens.
Oh.
I think I did. But yeah, but if the facts are true, then that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Yep, right here. It's gonna be flipped on the camera. But that right there says Ravens versus 49ers.
For listeners, he just pulled up his
my bet slip.
His bet thing.
Yeah, just a little fun fact there from the Bills game. But that's what we're saying. There is no reason they should have lost that game.
There is no reason. Anyways, let's talk about the Bucs Lions now. Last game to go over.
I thought that was actually a really good game.
I thought it was too. I thought honestly, Baker Mayfield. I think they should sign Baker Mayfield to a 3-4 year contract because
I don't think it should be that long term. I think they go year by year.
No,
he hasn't. I honestly don't.
If you give this kid a chance to prove himself, he will prove himself. Hold on. He showed himself with the Rams. He showed himself to prove himself with the Rams. They didn't give him a chance in Carolina because
Carolina doesn't count.
Every single team that he has been a part of, he has proved that he can be the quarterback. Browns led them to their first playoff win in how many years?
A lot of years.
Buccaneers, first year on the team fighting with Kyle Trask for the main spot for QB.
Why that was even a battle was insane today.
Yeah, and that shouldn't have been a battle. But he led them to a playoff win, which nobody thought they were going to win. And he had the best season of his career. This kid has he's not a kid. But
probably 10 years older than you.
10 years older than me. But this young man has so much resilience as a quarterback and raw talent. He has a lot of raw talent. I understand he doesn't run for as much as Lamar Jackson, but he can sling that ball. And he has accuracy. He can have some off games, but every single quarterback has off games. I think that they sign him because if you're looking at the QB market right now, it is very dry. And I don't think they're finding a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield unless they draft someone, which I don't think they're going to.
See, I'm actually going to kind of go the opposite. I think they take it year by year, at least to start. But maybe give him 1 or 2 years because I don't think he's proven himself. He's proven himself to be a good quarterback, but he has not proven himself to be a consistent quarterback. So when you're signing someone to a long-term contract, you want consistency.
Right, but 3 years is not a long-term contract for a quarterback.
Depends on how much they give him. Quarterbacks are making so much money these days. Daniel Jones is making $40 a year.
He should not be. Don't even get me started.
No,
we can
I know
have an
I'm
entire
not,
episode on that.
But that's not an example.
But I also don't think Baker's the type of guy to ask for.
I mean, if you can get money, you can get money.
If you can get money, but I think he'd rather be a starter.
The players have the leverage right now.
Except the running backs.
Except the running backs. Which I also think is going to change soon. I think Derrick Henry is going to get a huge contract. Way bigger than people think he is.
Nope. You know why?
Nope. You don't think so?
No,
why?
Because Christian McCaffrey's proven himself to be the best running back in football. Miles better than Derrick Henry.
Yes,
Derrick Henry is old. Or older. He's not getting a bigger contract than Christian McCaffrey. And Christian McCaffrey is getting paid nickels to what he's actually worth.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, wasn't it on it was a...
He makes $17 million a year.
Yeah.
Should he be making more than that? Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
By far the highest paid running back in the league.
Yeah. But if Daniel Jones is making $40 million a year, Christian McCaffrey should at least be making 25.
All right, let's look at it this way. First of all, McCaffrey was on the end of his deal. He signed a 4-year deal in 2020. So I think this next season's his last season. I don't want to guarantee it, but I'm going to say I think there is almost 100% chance he will be making over $20 million a year with that next contract.
How old is he?
26,
27?
Something like that. He is 27.
27. Yeah,
and
so
Derrick
he's
Henry.
I think Derrick Henry is 20.
30.
Oh, he's 30?
Wow. He just turned 30. January 4th. He turned 30.
Okay, happy birthday to Derrick Henry.
Yes, happy birthday, Derrick Henry. 20 days late, but happy birthday, Derrick Henry. But I think Derrick Henry will get around what McCaffrey's getting now, between 15 and 16 million, maybe a little less than McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're going to start seeing running back prices go up. Once I think it's going to take a little regulating. Like, the market's going to have to regulate. Obviously, there's a lot of running backs that aren't making a lot. So there's going to have to be a couple that start making a lot for
it
the
to
running
be
backs,
regulated.
the players to get what they want.
Right.
Because they still don't have what they want.
Right.
We got a little sidetracked there. I think we were talking about
the Bucks and Lions, but yeah.
That's crazy. We didn't even talk about the one thing I planned on saying about this game was that the Ravens, I think, were the only. I know we're talking about the Lions game. Don't worry.
Yes.
I'm getting to a point. The Ravens are the only team that really handedly won their games. Because if you look at the box score, so obviously we know what happened in the Bills game and the Packers game, but for the Lions game, the Lions won by I think 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm. It was 23-31, so 8.
But they were up, I think, 14 at one point.
Yep.
And that was only in the fourth quarter. Because if you look at the box score, every single quarter ended as a tie.
Oh, really?
The first quarter, 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
The second quarter, 10-10. The third quarter, 17-17. And the Lions ran away with it in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter.
But yeah, that's just what I want to say. I think that their win wasn't as convincing as it was.
No, it wasn't, and I don't think they're getting past the NFC Championship.
We'll get to that.
We will get to that.
So why don't we actually start with the other championship game? Because it seems like we're going to have differing opinions on the other one.
All right, Chiefs Ravens. Saying it right now in my notes. I just want to say I wrote this in my notes.
What do you got?
Word for word. No shot in hell the Ravens lose this at home. ... Right? Question mark. So
that's about what I was gonna say. That's pretty close to what I was gonna say.
We saw it with the Bills. Everybody counted the Chiefs out. Nobody gave the Chiefs credit. I will give credit where credit is due. They are a great team. The Ravens are a better team.
I think I said this last week. I think the Bills were a better team too, but I think I said this last week. There's no way you can never, ever count Patrick Mahomes out of the playoffs. Last year, everybody thought they were going to be
He's the new generation's Tom Brady, and I hate it.
Honestly, because last season, nobody thought they were going to be. Everybody thought, oh, yeah, they'll get 11 wins, maybe make it to the conference championship, and they won the Super Bowl. You just cannot count Mahomes out.
Yep.
I think the Ravens will win. Am I sure of it? Hell no.
No.
You can't be sure when it's Patrick Mahomes. I was sure this week, and clearly it went wrong.
And clearly you were not correct.
We were watching
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, please.
We were watching this game with 10 people in the common room. One person thought the Chiefs were going to win.
Who was it?
Charlie. And when it happened, we literally attacked him. He was gone. He ran. He ran right when Tyler Bass missed that field goal. He was gone.
That's actually really funny.
And he's going for the Chiefs again. He's like, I can't hop off the wagon now.
Can't hop off the wagon. My reasoning with the Ravens winning is because
They're just the better team.
Along with stats that are backing this up,
Mhm.
I think the Ravens have more to play for, if that makes sense. Like
What do you mean?
obviously both teams are playing for a Super Bowl, but the Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls in the past
Two Super Bowls
2 Super Bowls in the
in
past
the past 5 years. Yeah,
5 years. So
they've played in 3,
they've played in 3,
and
lost
they've been in the last 7 conference championships.
conference championships, right? But my point is, the Ravens haven't won a Super Bowl since the Harbaugh Bowl, and they haven't
And
gotten
Harbaugh's
to.
back.
And Harbaugh's
They're
back,
both back.
but they also haven't had this convincing of a team since that game.
Oh, not even close.
So if you look at defense, Ravens have the number 1 defense in all of the league. Points
Yes,
allowed
16. That's
is
crazy.
like 16.3, 17.2, something like that. Very, very low numbers. Best pass, not best pass offense, but a very good pass offense. Their linebackers and their front line are incredible. If you look on the other side of the ball, their offense is just as good, if not better. Like, Zay Flowers is a human joystick.
Oh my God, Zay Flowers is going to be a top wide receiver for years to come.
I completely
He
agree.
is so good.
If you get the ball in his hand, his yards after catch are ridiculous.
He's so
and
good.
and you don't really see that in another wide receiver other than probably Deebo Samuel. And or Puka actually this year. Puka had a lot of yards after catch. But the Chiefs' defensive line is good. Chris Jones carries that offense, and the Ravens have an incredible offensive line. I don't think the Chiefs' defensive line is going to get it done, and I don't think the iffy Chiefs' offensive line is going to hold up against the Ravens' defensive line.
No.
It's going to be a trench battle, but I think the Ravens are going to come out.
I think the Ravens are going to come out on top too, but once again, you just can't. You can't count out Patrick Mahomes.
I want to so bad, man. I hate him.
We
I hate
all
him
want
winning.
to,
I
except
hate him
Charlie.
winning.
We all want to, though. Nobody wants Patrick Mahomes to win anymore.
Everybody wants him to lose unless you're Charlie or if you're from Kansas City.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it's the same for the 49ers.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants the 49ers to win.
No, I don't think anybody does.
I don't.
I want the Lions to win.
Of course I want the Lions to win.
I am on the Lions train. I've been a Lions fan since 2 years now, since the Giants suck. So Christian and I here came to the conclusion that we were Lions fans because we need a team that would actually make us.
That's my Aiden Hutchinson jersey for the first time this weekend.
Oh, you are? You're bringing it out?
Oh, no, I did this past weekend.
Oh, right,
they won,
this past weekend.
Do it again.
All right. Good luck, Charm.
Yeah.
So you start off. I started off with the Ravens. You start off with your prediction.
I think the Lions might actually win this game. Now, I think this game is 50-50. If you see the point spread, by the way, nobody's given anything to the Lions.
Why? What's the point spread?
The over-under is 50, which is crazy in the South. But it's -7 to the Niners. They think that the Niners are going to win by an entire touchdown.
No.
I think the Ravens are -3 on the Chiefs.
I don't think the Lions are going to lose that badly. And as I wrote here in my notes, if the Lions get their offense and their defense running, like consistently running,
yep,
I don't see a team that can really stop them.
No.
Even the Ravens. I'm sorry, but like, you've seen those games where the Lions are just locked in at every single snap. Defense, yep. Aiden Hutchinson going off. Jared Goff throwing a missile down to Amon-Ra. Whatever it is, if they are locked in, and I mean locked in, they are winning that game. But
absolutely,
I'm going to say, since the 49ers are home, I'm going to give the edge to the 49ers, but I do not see I can see this game going either way 100%. If we come back next week and the Lions won, I would not be surprised.
No, not at all. I think they will. I honestly think they will. And I just want to say it has been on a complete tear. Let me see. I think he's had at least one sack in every game since that Cowboys game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
He had 3 against the Cowboys, 2 against the Vikings, 2 against the Rams in the wild card round, and 1 last week.
Okay.
So he has been on an absolute tear recently.
Okay.
And I think that the defense is going to continue stepping up. I think the offense will step up more than they already have. I think I honestly I know how good the 49ers defense is. I wouldn't be
They have been
surprised.
inconsistent, though. They have been inconsistent.
And I know their defensive line is amazing.
I don't think their pass defense is all that.
I think the Lions are going to throw them off. I wouldn't be surprised if Jahmyr Gibbs gets close to like between 60 to 70 receiving yards. Like
Oh,
Jahmyr
I can
Gibbs,
totally see that.
he gets receiving yards, but I think I think they're gonna try and throw them off. A lot of play actions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of play actions. I think that you might see a play where they run like they put Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery out there
Yeah. They put
and
both of them.
fake them out. Fake
Because
the
with this
handoff to
offense, you have no
Montgomery.
idea who you're going to give it to.
No, they have. You can give it to Amon Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds, Jameson Williams. All of them have been playing amazing. Like people discredit like these like lower tier like Josh Reynolds, Jameson Williams. I bet on Josh Reynolds this week. Like they've been playing amazing.
Yeah.
Like
I completely agree with you. I completely agree. The Lions are a force to be reckoned with. I will say that.
yeah.
And I think all these games. I mean, once it gets to this point in the playoffs, I think all the games will be good. I know there's only 2, but both of these games are going to be very good, and I can see them going either way. But if we're going with color theory here, then it'll be Ravens 49ers.
Obviously.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
you know this, but the color at the bottom
Mm-hmm.
is the one that's supposed to win.
Oh,
So the color at the bottom
is red.
it's purple. If you Google the Super Bowl logo this year, it's purple, and the red is at the top. I'm almost positive.
So I was looking at Josh Reynolds' stats.
No, it's okay.
He in the first game against the Rams, 5 receptions, 80 yards.
Wow.
And then he had 2 receptions for 27 yards in this past week.
A little bit more modest.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, just to segue in, I just wanted to talk about the Calvin Ridley issue. Oh, wait, no, not the Calvin Ridley issue.
Not the Calvin Ridley issue. That's for a couple weeks.
That's next week. Just to segue into our next topic, I just want to talk about the Chargers. This was just new news. Chargers signed John Harbaugh. What are your thoughts?
I think that it's going to take a while for him to. Obviously, he's coached in the NFL before,
and successful in the NFL before.
Yeah, he was successful. Absolutely.
Coaching in the NFL and being successful in the NFL are 2 entirely different things.
Yeah, and honestly, the one that I wanted to compare him to Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
He, I believe, was. Let me double check this.
What were you gonna say?
I believe he was in the NFL before he went to USC and then came back.
Oh, like he flip flopped?
Yes.
Okay. But
yes. Okay, he did.
Who did he? Wasn't he on
in 1994? He coached the Jets.
Right.
Head coach of the Jets.
Right.
He was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was the coach of the Patriots after Bill Parcells left.
Right.
And he won the division title with the Patriots. Didn't do much after that. He was fired in 1999 by the Patriots. Went to USC, became extremely successful, and came back, stayed successful in the NFL.
Yeah, with the Seahawks, obviously. And
I think it's going to be the same for Harbaugh.
Yeah, I agree. And if we're looking at comparisons between a Harbaugh offense and a Brandon Staley offense or defense,
They don't even compare. They
don't
really
compare.
don't even compare.
The Harbaugh will blow this team away. I mean, what he did with Michigan this year, winning their first title,
Yep.
in how many years?
A lot.
I think that Harbaugh will bring a winning mentality to the team. What was their record this season? 6-5.
Oh, the Chargers?
Yeah,
5-11.
Chargers 5-11,
No,
right?
5-12. They
I
5-12. Yeah.
5-12. Yeah. Okay. So if obviously if you bring a college coach to the NFL, it doesn't always work out. We saw that with Urban Meyer. However, I think Urban Meyer is a different coach than Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh is more about development than immediate results. You saw that with
Yes.
Michigan. He took his program at a low.
Yep.
He built them up and built them to the peak of
With some unbelievable players coming out of that
right,
program.
right.
Aiden
And
Hutchinson, most
that's what I'm
notably to
saying.
me.
Developing is his key, and that's what the Chargers need. The Chargers have a young team, young quarterback, young wide receiver room, other than Keenan Allen. Other than that, I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think he's gonna get the defense going. I think he's gonna. The Chargers' main woes were in the pass defense. I think he's gonna get the pass defense performing a lot better.
Yes. And I want to say one thing about his development of players before we wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I said this to you before we started. I think the Chargers are going to not try. I mean, they'll try, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere close to signing Austin Eckler. They don't have the money. I don't think they want him. I think he needs a change of scenery.
Yep.
And I think they're going to go out and draft Blake Corum. He clearly performed well under Harbaugh, and why not give it a shot?
Right.
Back to the drawing board for running back for them.
I agree with that. And you've seen chemistry with players that have come from the same program, like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. You haven't really seen a lot of coaches that are paired up with their collegiate players from the NFL, well, obviously because NFL coaches tend to stay in the NFL, but I think if they draft Blake Corum, because the Chargers have a decently high pick, I think if they draft Blake Corum, that'll give them enough cap room to draft around, sign around, because obviously he's going to be in his rookie deal. They're going to sign him to 3-4 year contract for not a lot of money.
Yeah.
But without the excellent quality of Blake Corum, I think the real treasure to that move is the cap space, because they're $27 million over the cap limit right now. Mm-hmm. They drop off Austin Eckler. That's a huge hit in cap space. And I think they can sign a better cornerback. I think they can sign maybe some better offensive linemen. I think they can do some more in the wide receiver room.
I want to see them perform well.
I do. I don't think...
I love Justin Herbert.
Same. I don't think the Chargers were... I don't think they deserved a 5-12 season. I think they should have been a lot better, and I think a lot of that has to do with how Brandon Staley was running that team, because they just picked him off the street. Like, I don't really understand.
Remember where he came from.
Yeah, I don't remember where he came from either, but it was...
He might have been their offensive coordinator, defensive...
But
he was the Rams defensive coordinator.
Okay, Rams defensive coordinator, but right.
And
but
you know why they signed him, honestly?
Why?
Probably, I think it was recency bias. Because it was, I believe, the year that the Rams won the Super Bowl was the year that the Chargers picked him up.
Right, and you can't judge a defensive coordinator, especially if you have a high-powered defense like that Rams team did. Von Miller and Aaron Donald. You can put me at defensive coordinator, and that team would win games.
Absolutely.
Like, a defensive coordinator should be signed to a head coach. An offensive coordinator should be signed to a head coach when the players, when the coach gets the bad players playing at the best level and the good players playing at their prime.
Yep.
Which, yes, he did that for Aaron Donald and Von Miller. Well, not really Von Miller, but Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
But other than that, look at the Rams' defense that year. It was
unbelievable, and they were just good players.
Yeah, but my point is the pass defense. The pass defense wasn't elite. It was good. Right. It wasn't elite,
No, not at all.
And it was even worse on the Chargers, because at least on the Rams you had Jalen Ramsey. You had people in that position that could bring you success. Chargers didn't.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I think the Chargers are going to be at least 8-win team next season.
Yeah, I think they're going to start there and they're going to just go up from there.
And I don't think the Chargers organization is looking for a Super Bowl run next year. I think they're more in the rebuilding phase.
They know they're in rebuild mode.
Yep.
And I think signing Harbaugh was the start of it.
Yep, I agree.
I think that's all the topics we have for the football session today.
All right.
There's a lot today.
There was a lot today. I hope we can get that all in under the hour.
But I think we did. I think we were able to do it.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. It was great.
Thank you. I'll see you in the NBA section.
All right.
Nick will be back next week.